Hello friends, this is Crystal Joy of CJoy Yoga, and you can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, on Patreon, which is really cool because there you can actually support me so I can keep putting this stuff out into the world and helping people heal themselves, right? Enabling people to heal themselves. This is for my BMAC friends again. So they work in an office. You don't have to work in an office to do this. It's going to be a short little ditty for the lower body. So we'll start seated in the chair. If you have an office chair, right? I'm trying to show you things that you can do in your office in between things. So you're going to sit forward on the chair. If you need the support, take it, but try not to round into it, right? We're trying to find our core work here. So from there, feet underneath the knees, heels I should say, knees out from the hips. The hips are below the shoulders, which are below the ears, right? So try to find that alignment, the crown of the head lifting up nice and lightly, like a helium balloon I've been saying. Close the eyes, and let's take a few breaths together. Inhale, and with your exhale, release all of the muscles of the face. Inhale, head lifting lightly like a helium balloon. Exhale, soften those shoulders away from the ears, the arms, hands, and fingers. Inhale, belly is soft. And exhale, soften the hips, the legs, the feet, and the toes. One more breath, just like that. Inhale, again, focus on the belly. So soft it floats away from the spine. Exhale, belly so soft it floats back towards the spine. Keep that breath going. Inhale, open the eyes. We're going to go right into cat, cow, right? Hands can come to the knees or slightly back. And with an inhale, we're going to rock our frontal hip points forward and reach that chest forward and up. Because my upper back moves in, my neck extends, I end up looking up. Exhale, go ahead, she's going to do yoga with us. Pull your frontal hip points back, right? Round the pelvis, round the spine. Drop the head a little bit. Inhale, frontal hip points, rock forward, shoulder blades down the back, reaching that chest forward and up. Exhale, pull the belly in, round that spine behind you, starting to move the pelvis and the spinal column. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to inhale and reach it forward and up. And then we're going to imagine that we have a wine barrel around our rib cage right now, right? So it would go around me in this fashion. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let my ribs move over to the right. I'm going to turn this way so you can see it a little bit better. And I'm going to lift my arms. You can leave your hands down. And then I'm going to roll it back behind me. And then I'm going to roll it over to the left. And I'm going to do that 2 more times. Forward to the right, behind to the left, forward to the right, behind and to the left, forward, switching directions, to the left, behind and to the right, forward, left, behind, to the right, and do 1 more of those. And when you end in that forward position, you'll go ahead and you'll find that you can pull the frontal hip points up enough that you're on the middle of the buttocks bones, sitting up nice and tall. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to hug the right knee in towards us, right? You might round the spine a little bit to get it. You can go behind the thigh or in front of the shin, by the way. Knee injury friends, definitely go behind the thigh. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to pull against that thigh and watch my spine. I'm going to try to pull my spine back into its neutral position even as I hug the knee towards the chest. Now that might be a lot lower for you, and that's totally fine, right? Go ahead and take 1 more breath. Inhale and exhale. Now switch the hands behind the thigh and shoulder blades down the back, long spine. My spine doesn't change, but I'm going to reach my right heel forward any amount. You might not straighten all the way, right? I happen to have a little bit of space in my hamstrings, a little too much, quite honestly. I don't work with resistance, and that's not good on the other end of the spectrum of being a little too tight, right? As that heel pushes forward, I'm hopefully getting into the back of my leg a little bit. Let's circle that right foot. My friends who shove their feet into sensory deprivation chambers every day, go ahead and go the other way. And women, if you are wearing heels, ooh, the things that does to your body. Stretch those feet out on a regular basis, please. And go ahead and bring that leg back down. You're going to lift that left leg up and interlace behind the thigh or in front of the shin. The spine will round, right? So we're going to pull against the shin, and we're going to try and find our really long spine, that helium balloon head lifting up, and just hug it in, start to lengthen the low back and the sacrum. Now you're going to interlace behind the left thigh, shoulder blades down the back, keep the spine long, and push that left heel forward. And again, it doesn't have to straighten all the way, right? Just as much as you can, maintaining your long spinal column. I'm kind of a stickler about a long spinal column. It shouldn't be in every single pose, but if we're constantly doing this, we're kind of teaching our body to stay in this position all the time. We probably sleep on our sides in this rounded ball. So if we're in a rounded ball the majority of our lives, how in the world are we ever supposed to open up? Go ahead and circle the left foot. And go the other direction, building a little bit of strength, having to hold that leg up as well, that low belly pulling up. Put that left foot down on the ground. Put your right ankle on your left knee. If that is not available and the hip is too tight, you can cross the right shin in front, and if you have something to stack underneath the foot, that'd be even a little bit better potentially, right? Get a little more out of it. But I'm going to speak to thread the needle. So I'm going to flex my right foot so my knee is protected. And I'm going to try and just really gently let that right leg, is Hunter giving you a show back there? I'm going to let that right leg start to move down towards the ground. Welcome to Crystal Joy and CJoy Yoga. We get cat entertainment during our classes together. It's like you're in my living room with me. You're going to interlace behind the left thigh. If it's available, right, you might just stay right here. But if you interlace behind the thigh, oh, there's that rounded spine again, gall darn it. So now I'm going to pull against the thigh moves down, and I lengthen my spinal column. I'm demonstrating if that doesn't make sense. And then some of my friends were like, oh, there's my outer right hip. Stay right here if you're feeling a nice edge, right? You might start to pull the elbows a little wide and start to move yourself towards your thigh. But I'm not leading with my chin or with my nose. I am folding from the pelvis. My spine is staying long. I'm going to encourage you not to round the spine today. Go ahead and take one more breath. Inhale. And exhale there. And again, don't look at me and think you have to be where I am. I have a different body than you do. Go ahead and come on up, as does everyone around you. Put the right foot down on the ground. Left ankle on that right leg, or that foot can drop in front, and you can just really gently externally rotate the thigh. You might not get as much, but you might. Depends on your body, right? But if it can come up there, we'll flex the left foot. The left thigh gently softens away from the body. I might just put my hands on the back of my chair and get long, and already I start to feel my left on this side, right? You might interlace behind, but you just rounded your spine. Can guarantee it unless you really brought awareness into it, right? So we're going to pull against the thigh. The thigh is going to push down into the hands, and we're going to lengthen our spine. Buttocks, bones reach back behind you, right? And that may be like, oh my goodness, don't go where you can't breathe. You're too far in. You might bend the elbows a little bit and start to come in. But again, be careful about leading with chins and noses. Right, that just rounds our spine again. We're trying to keep the spine long for today's purposes. And breathe into that outer left hip right here. Inhale, bring that all the way back up. Go ahead and put that foot back down on the ground. That's going to be it for the hips and the oh, actually, let's do one more. I'm a liar. Let's do the hamstrings one more time. So we're going to flex the feet. Don't be so far forward you're going to fall off your chair. Get stable, right? And if you're on a wheelie bob chair, you can always put it back against your desk so it doesn't fly away. And then go ahead and push your heels and pull your toes back, and then hands on the chair. We find that long spine. Now this might be plenty, right? If you're not feeling the hamstrings, but you're starting to feel low back, you might bend the knees a little bit and pull your pelvis in. Some of my friends might start to fold forward. Now be really cautious if you bring your hands forward. I don't want you to shove your legs down and lock your knees out, right? So you might bend the knees a little bit, but you might start to glide the hands down. Pull those hips, right? That low back, that sacrum forward with you, buttocks, bones back. Toes come back to you, heels reach forward. Inhale, exhale, soften in for one breath. Take one more breath here. Pull the kneecaps up, inhale. Exhale, and then inhale, reach the chest forward, coming all the way back up. We set our feet on the ground, underneath the knees, hands on the thighs, sitting up nice and tall. Close the eyes, and again, imagine your head as a helium balloon lifting up. 3 breaths before we say goodbye. Inhale. Soft belly, exhale. You don't need to tell me what you do. Take a slow pace, 2 breaths, and we'll meet in a little bit. Bring your hands together at your heart. Inhale, lift the crown of the head gently up. Keep that chest lifted. Exhale, bow your head. Taking a moment of gratitude there. Just being grateful you gave yourself this space and time. Namaste, friends. Let me face you. And hopefully that one got you a little space in your pelvis, hips, and legs.